business potential is even more, but our mills, because they are mainly located in the European part or the CIS part, allocations are an issue for us. Because our capacity to do is even 3 million tons we have done. But right now we are running at about 1 million ton because I can only sell ArcelorMittal material. I cannot buy from somebody else. When I was in India, I was doing a retail business. There I was buying even from the Chinese companies. I was open to buy because it is my profit center. So I can buy from the Indian mills, domestic mills, from the Chinese mills, Korean, Japanese, even Taiwanese mills. So it's a variety of business. But in our current setup, ArcelorMittal International, we represent only and only ArcelorMittal mills. Sometimes because we have two joint ventures here, one is an automobile steel with Valin, and the second one was with Hunan, which the Xiangtan plate and coil mill. We used to export from them also. So that business I can do, but I cannot buy from other Chinese or the regional mills.
It's the principle of the company, right?
Yes, we don't do, because otherwise under our brand I cannot sell somebody else's product.
You mentioned that you are in charge of three offices in one is in Shanghai.
Shanghai.
One is in
Singapore.
And Dubai. How many subordinates do you have?
We have about 12 people on the sales side, sales. Then in Singapore we have 4 people on finance, because we have our trade platform there. All our NCs are routed through Singapore or Luxembourg, so 4 people there. And then about 3 people on the technical support, because we do a lot of automobile and big jumbo beams, so they are purely technical sales. And then we have about 5 people who are on the back office, and 1 people on the one shared person on the admin.
I wonder which area, which country or which area of the customer do you the most familiar area?
See, India is my natural market, but as I said, India is having a lot of constraints on the import levels now. They have duties, they have Bureau of Indian Standards. So I think the most active market which I am developing now is the Southeast Asian market. So within Southeast Asian market, for commodities, the top market is Vietnam, Philippines for billets, Thailand, Indonesia. These are the top 4 markets. Taiwan, on and off it comes, because the pricing is not always the best there. Singapore for our big jumbo beams, because for the high-rise projects it is a very good business, and now we are doing rebar also. So I would say right now my total 70% of time is going into Southeast Asia. So because there was one thought also going on that probably I can move to Singapore, because I spend a lot of out of 4 weeks, I'm more than 15 days traveling into these countries actually, based out of Singapore. It's very easy to manage business there.
May I ask, you allowed this, you allowed Shanghai in 2014, right? So the customer are transferred from the previous manager or developed by yourself?
Yeah, we have done a lot of work actually. When I came into China, for example, our hot rolled foil business was maybe 20,000 tons. But last year we paid 85,000 tons. So that is one progress. And we have to work as our mill wants. Okay. What happens is that we take the objectives from the mill and then go and develop the market that way. So a lot of this business has been developed new because one, the market dynamics is changing. China has been a very strong player in the last 1 year or 1.5 years. The prices have been strengthening, which means the trade balance has shifted from the Black Sea side or from the Russian mills into Southeast Asia and China. So we introduced products like billets into Vietnam, cold roll, hot roll, all the way from Kazakhstan mill going from Far East to Vietnam market. This was never existing. It was happened only in 2016. Now we are starting billets from my Mexican mill into Philippines. So these are all new businesses we have to develop in this part. Otherwise, I'm so far away from my mill that all the mills are not there all the time. So we keep customer contact all the time, and we keep developing new markets, and I have to wait for my mills allocation and the price to match to go and close the business in 1 day and 2 days, that way. Then on the value added part, we did a lot of business development here, because selling into China is very difficult. But there are a lot of Chinese companies who are implementing businesses outside China. So they bring structural steel into China, fabricate and bring it back. So last year we did a project in Bangladesh. So the whole 8,000 tons of jumbo beams were brought into Qingdao, fabricated and sent it back. So we have to do a lot of business development work also here. So if you ask purely by the amount of tonnage or volume, we have surely doubled up our tonnage in the last 1 year. So 2015, I worked mainly in China, and seeing the performance, they added Southeast Asia to me. The person has gone back to Luxembourg, so there was an equivalent position than me. So there were 3 offices, equal in capacity, but now I am handling all the 3 offices, and our business is surely more than 100% doubled up in this. As I said, I am constrained to 1 million ton right now, but my whole team can handle 3 million tons also. And from September till March, I was handling the Turkish market also, because there was a plan that I can shift to Turkey office. Turkey office is our very core market for our Ukrainian mill. Ukrainian mill is exporting about 500,000 tons of billets, rebars and wire rod every month. They don't have a domestic market. So there I started handling that market. So I was visiting Egypt, big market. Turkey itself is a big market for us for billets. Lebanon, mainly for billets. They also go to the nearby region of Israel and through Lebanon for rebar. Israel was another market for us. So I got a very good exposure of that. But then we had a choice between Southeast Asia or Turkey. So I chose to be on the Southeast Asian side. Turkey also was a bit disturbed that time, Egypt also. So choosing that balance, I chose to be on the Southeast Asia side. But in the past 2.5 years, I have a very good exposure on different markets. In terms of customers, we have very good contacts, because all these offices are more than 15 years old. They are coming from Trade Arbed and Arcelor. These were the companies who were merging over a period. And then ArcelorMittal came into only in 2006. So most of our staff is more than 10 years with us, and they have the customer contact. It's mainly how to utilize them. You have to build on that. Like Philippines market, I was saying, they removed the billet import duties from June 16th, and on 30th June we had the first order from us. So we have to keep customer contact. The first level contact I go, because at a senior level we meet, we have to arrange the customer contact, and once I develop the business, I give it to my senior managers, and then they do the business on a regular basis. So my job is not only to do the regular business, but to try to open new markets for us. So for us, the next target will be some jumbo beams into Hong Kong, rebars in Hong Kong. We have never done this business, but we have got our rebars registered in Hong Kong now. So I will take the commercial off the town. So this will be a new market for us. Otherwise, very difficult to survive and maintain the volume levels. And we are a profit center. I have to earn all my costs myself and keep my profit healthy actually.
I've heard from Leo that you refused to work in Turkey, right?
Yeah.
Then what's your company or ArcelorMittal? How did they treat this?
Yeah, I understand. The main reason for basically I accepted the offer actually, and I started looking for house and office, house and schooling also. Turkey was that time quite disturbed. We had a bomb blast in December, then in New Year Eve also there was a shooting in the club. The main reason is the nature of work. There, 90% of our business is into billets and rebars and wire rods. But whereas when we come to Southeast Asia, I do slabs, billets, hot roll, cold roll, automobile steel, jumbo beam. So the variety is very big. And in my view, Southeast Asia has a big potential to grow. All these markets, Philippines, Vietnam, these are very high growth markets. Whenever you go in the market, they are small countries, but their steel consumption is still low. They are at 10 to 11 million tons per year, which is very low for the population they have. Indonesia has 3 million people, 300 million people, one of the top population. It has to grow. India with 95 million tons against a population of 1.3 billion, it's nowhere. So these capacities will develop. What was happening from 2014-15, the Chinese pressure was so high that these markets were not growing. Now, once the Chinese capacities balance out in the next 1 to 3 years, all these markets will start maturing. There will be a cross trade between these markets. If you see the cluster from the Turkish office, it will be basically Egypt, Turkey, Lebanon, and the basically this war, I would call it a bit of kind of a war zone, because Israel, Jordan, Syria, these are all war affected countries. So these were the two main reasons. The main reason was the nature of business is only 3 products. So I will become a sales manager selling all these products, the 3 products every day, the same repetitive business. And in these countries, your trade is very limited. It's very difficult to do business in these countries because of financial reasons and your access to the end customer. So what will happen in Egypt, you will sell to 10 customers. In Lebanon, same 10 customers. Iraq, maybe 2. And Turkey, maybe 5. So your growth will then be limited. But in Southeast Asia, I see the variety of business is very nice. There are different countries and a lot of potential to grow. So if we were allowed to do cross trade, I think Southeast Asia would be our biggest market.
I see.
About the products that you just mentioned, the automotive steel, that you sourcing those products from Baling, from the Baling isometer, this mill in China, and then to support it and then supply it to customers outside of China.
No, from Baling we are not exporting. We are only exporting some drum manufacturing grades, industrial sizes like DC01 on cold roll coil.
Okay.
So basically, this plant is 80% going to be on automotive steel, high grade, deep drawing grades, and our patented products like Usibor. Usibor is our low weight, high strength steel.
Yes.
So exports parts of a car wide body. So what we were doing earlier is that automobile steel we were supplying from our European mills to the Chinese customers. Then in 2 years ago, June of 2015, this plant was commissioned, and slowly this plant will start feeding all these customers, because we know the Chinese mills will also develop their technical capacity, and they will then, it will be in terms of the business, it will be a barrier for us to supply all the way from Europe coming to there.
That's right.
So we sell about 300,000 tons of automobile steel into China now, with our global customers and some Chinese customers as well. Slowly the plan is that this plant will ramp up, it will get its products registered, and it will take over the local market. Very limited capacity will be available for exports. That we will try to do into South Korea, because we have a research center in South Korea, or to other automobile manufacturers or white good manufacturers, maybe in Thailand or others. But that's a 2-year later plan. So this is the plan. We are also doing a similar setup in India now, because ArcelorMittal is not investing on upstream. We are investing on downstream, where the value is added in terms of. So we have the same JV with Indian Steel Mill, Steel Authority of India now, which is already being formalized. So another 3 years we will have our own 1.5 million ton plant for cold roll and galvanized automobile steel in India also.
So right now in Baling, that the production is commissioned 2 years ago, but right now their capacity, talking about the grades,
1.2 million tons.
1.2 million tons. It's all for cold rolled and
Galvanized.
both cold rolled and galvanized.
Galvanized, yeah. They started with the industrial grades because automobile grades they will need some ramp up and technical advance.
That's right.
And it takes minimum 6 months to 1 year to get the homologation process.
Yes.
So yes, so slowly we started with industrial grades and now we are already at about 60% levels on automobile. Another 1 year, so it will go 80% plus only on automobile steel.
But it has no allocation for export. It
We-
only supply to service centers, more to service centers here in China and also for Korea.
We
As you
did
paint.
some cold roll grades for drum manufacturing with Bamal Lorry in India and in Dubai also. But after that, the Chinese prices are so high and the allocation is very
That's
low.
right.
So once they see the price in the domestic market is very high, they don't get interest to export
That's right.
because their NRP, the net realization is low, and of course it is a longer process. So they are happy with the domestic market. If whenever they want to come back, we are okay because we are catering to the same customer from our European mills. So customer, yes. So customer is with us. It's only a matter of which mill can
That's
come.
right. That's right. I'm interested in this. Talking about the grades that Valin can produce for galvanized, they can right now where they are the highest galvanized grades for automotive steel that where they are they can produce.
Okay, I can send you the brochure also if you want to have a look or to have a
Okay.
discussion. Yes.
Okay, like HX 220 BD.
I think
They
they
can
will be
do-
able to do.
They will be able.
Yeah, they will be
not
able
right
to.
now.
No, they will be able to do in terms of the commercial quantity and the full acceptance. I need to check with them.
Okay. Understand. And also for jumbo beams that's we are talking about H beams and the big H beams.
Big H beams, we have our own patented product, which is a high star beam. This is having a strength of S460. So against 355, we compete with S460. The advantage is that for the same weight, we can have a much higher load bearing capacities because its yield strength is much higher than 355. Secondly, it doesn't need any heating for welding. So when you are making a high rise, you can weld it at a normal room temperature. Plus the advantage of size, we can roll as big as 1 meter, and so you can really replace your concrete columns with H beams. Or we have a combination solution of H beams and concrete. So what happens? Your column size reduction is almost 30%, and which means you have all those square feet to sell. And your erection speed is much faster. So it is very acceptable products in areas where there is a constraint on speed. For example, Singapore, they want very clean environment and they want to build faster. So this product is very well accepted in Singapore. Vietnam is doing very well on this. In China, we are not able to do much because Chinese fabricators, they are strong. They buy
That's
355 and try to do welded columns. So our success rate in China high rise will be low, but for the global companies, when they don't accept welded columns, then they have to take these rolled beams. So we sell almost like 100,000 tons of these beams in every quarter. So it's a very global market for us.
So you supply those beams from overseas mills?
Yeah, we have two mills. One is both are in Luxembourg, which is our headquarter. One is in Belval, another 15 kilometers from Luxembourg. And Differdange, they do another range, which is another 30 kilometers. So within Luxembourg, and we come via Antwerp port. We use Antwerp for
Yes.
our shipments.
From Antwerp to Qingdao to do the fabrication
Yeah.
and then supply to your customers in
Yeah.
Singapore. or in other parts
No,
of?
that depends on the customer.
Okay.
The one I mentioned was called Bangladesh Bridge. It was 8,000 tons of steel with the long spans, so that's why they needed high strength. So all 8,000 tons first came to Qingdao. They did the fabrication and then brought it back to Chittagong. For Singapore, we use a stockist also, because the stockist has fabrication facilities, so it can go direct to the end user, or if they want to do some value addition, for example bolts or holes or joining, making a king post, then it goes to the fabricator, and the fabricator will supply to the main contractor. So normally it happens that the first few hundred tons are bought through stockist to save the time, and the balance 90% of the bulk volume comes directly from the mill
From mill.
to the customer.
Oh, you mentioned just now, you and your team open new market of Vietnam and
Yeah.
Thailand. Would you please give us an detailed example of your successful sales experience?
So Vietnam, before I came, was doing around 3 to 4,000 tons of mainly beams or some specialized products, no bulk commodities. Then in the first 2016, we started with our Kazakhstan mill. So Kazakhstan is a very landlocked country, but that time their currency situation was very weak, and the domestic market was very weak. And in winter months, they always have excess allocations. So what we told them that, okay, we go to Vietnam market because Vietnam is very high on hot rolled coil imports. It's a fully dependent. Now only one mill is coming there, Formosa, but it imports about 400,000 tons of hot rolled coil every month. Most of them were driven by China. So once we saw the Chinese prices were going up,
Yeah.
that means the dynamics from the Far East port works. So then we introduced our Tamirtau, Kazakhstan mill. So we bring the material to Vladivostok port, and then we cater it to the Vietnamese customer. We have one person based out of Ho Chi Minh, so we have direct access to all the customers. So we started first with the hot rolled coil, then with hot rolled sheet, because these are smaller stockists. Everybody buys between 5,000 to 10,000 tons of stockist volume. We started cold rolled coil and cold rolled sheets with Tamirtau. Then we also brought billets from this mill. This mill is predominantly flat product mill, but they also produce about 30,000 tons of billet every month. So depending on the price, this time the price was suiting for them. So we sold it into Vietnam and Thailand, because customers we already know. We are almost on a daily basis touch with the customers. So once the allocation was there, we could go and sell there. Then this year we introduced our Brazil mill there, because Tamirtau is having a very good domestic market. They don't want to sell into East Asia, but Brazilian market was weak. The currency was depreciating, and the freight was in a very friendly $30 zone. So this year, in the last, from December till now, we have done 160,000 tons already, 4 vessels. This we did to the big customers, because this we don't give to stockists. So all the big customers, Huasen, Kim Nok, Hua Phat, who can buy 20,000 tons plus with us, so we do directly with them. So that is one. Third, we started exploring our market with big jumbo beams, because we had done only one project of Vietinbank in Vietnam. Then last year we did the 81 super tower with our jumbo beams there, and now we are following up 2 more projects there, because this project we follow for 2 to 3 years minimum. So this is maturing now, so probably we'll have another 5,000 tons of sales. So this is how we do. Once we see that the market, what are they importing, what are the barriers in terms of import duties or anti-dumpings, and then we see the opportunity. Then we introduce our mills, that okay, this is my opportunity, this is the price here, this is my customer contact. Then the mill person also comes. Normally they come with a commercial and a technical person. We go in the market, once they are okay, then we start offering in the market. For Thailand, we don't have a local person. Our rep office was closed many years ago, so there was no business. But as I said, once the Chinese prices were strengthening, the trade from Black Sea was feasible here. So when I was in Turkey, that's a funny part of it. I went to Turkey to sell into Turkey, but then because this office was still under me, that time the Turkish situation was very bad because of all these issues. The Turkish lira was depreciating by almost 20% in 2 months, which means their FOB price could easily compete with the Chinese CFR price here basically. So we had a $32 trade zone, but we could make a deal from there to billet customers in Thailand, to Indonesia. So it is a matter of, because we know the customer, we have to bridge it from the supply side. So that's how the Kriveri billets were introduced from Black Sea to here. Similarly, Singapore market, never ever done, but we have to understand the market dynamics, how the pricing can work. Previous to that, only Turkish or Chinese mills were doing rebars into Singapore, but we introduced our mill. We had to take approvals from the customer in terms of the BS standard. We supplied samples, and then we opened up and did the first parcel of rebar into Singapore. So as I said, my focus of the sales which is repetitive, I give it to my senior managers, but then I have to focus with my team on where I can do next. For example, today we are discussing Mexico, but I already started discussing with Canada. Now Canadian mills also can come with billets here. As long as the Chinese price, the regional prices are uptick, I have to come from here. Maybe after 6 months the situation will change.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. So reading the market is very, very critical for our business. If we don't read it well, we lose a lot of customers, volumes and money also.
ArcelorMittal International is more trading company, right?
Yes.
It's more trading company. It's different from ArcelorMittal distribution.
Yes.
Distribution is more of service center that for doing distribution inside India or in other countries.
No, so in ArcelorMittal we have mainly 5 different divisions. One is called ArcelorMittal Flat Carbon Europe, which is our footprint in the European and East European countries. Similarly, there is a Long Carbon Europe, which does this business. Then we have the South America and North America, 4. And then we have a division called ArcelorMittal Distribution. This distribution has variety of businesses. So one is the international trading, where we are. Then we have another business which is called distribution. So they run service centers, they run retail of steel. Then there is a project division which does mainly oil and gas and energy projects. For example, the oil rigs, they do all those businesses, or the oil pipelines, or the refinery business where they need these grades. Then they have smaller units which are for wire rod and construction, because we also do sandwich panels, PU panels, low-cost housing or full fabricated steel housing, purse and panels also. So these are main 5 units within distributions. So this is a mix. Depending on the market, they open the business there. For example, in China we have another unit in Changzhou for fabrication of heavy plates. So it is called
heavy plates.
Yeah. So they fabricate heavy plates and supply it to yellow goods manufacturers. And similarly, we have one in south of India also, near Chennai. Similar unit, heavy plate processing, about 30,000 tons per year, and they do supply to all this. And these units are open to buy from everywhere, because not all the time our mills are feasible on price and allocation. So they buy from others also. ArcelorMittal International is a conduit between our mill to the customers, and we also sell to these business units also. Like today, if Vama wants to buy something from Flat Carbon Europe, it is routed via ArcelorMittal International. So the steel, like I said, the automobile steel, the channel is with because it was developed by ArcelorMittal International. So we have given the sales team now to Vama, but all the business from Europe to this remains through us. This is a mixed model for us.
So you used to work in the ArcelorMittal distribution in India.
Yes.
For the stock holding business.
Yes.
Okay. For the stock holding business, that you are in charge of more on sales or on the research to decide when to sell, when to take more stuff?
No, okay. So basically, I joined in the very beginning of this business was set up. So we were only 3 people who started. So my CEO, myself as CMO, and the CFO, the finance person. So my responsibility was first to locate the markets, which market can we profitably cater, and which products. So we started with Western India in Mumbai, because that's the importing location, and Gujarat, which is also a very good industrial belt. So this was the one. So my job was to search for the market, develop it, bring in my new team of sales team, logistics team, and give them the business on a daily basis. So once they started developing the customers, they can run the business then. So once we are done with the western part, then we went to the south part, Chennai and Bangalore, Hyderabad. These are the 3 main business centers in south of India. So we opened stock points in all these locations. So Mumbai was our main location, and these stock points were connected with this. So we will give them some stock to keep in local. Whenever they sell that, we replenish it from Mumbai. So once this was done, then we also went further up in the north to Rajasthan, another warehouse in Jaipur, and then the northern part, basically around Delhi, we opened 2 stock points to cater it. So only the eastern part, basically Kolkata and above, because logistically it is very, very far in India. Freight is easily $50-60. It doesn't work. So all west, north and south were our main point. So my job was to introduce all the new products, because we were a profit center. So we started with our own mills, doing patrol, cold roll coil. Then we started doing tin plate from China. We did wire rod from China. Beams were all coming from our own mill, because it's not a very profitable, and we have to carry a lot of stock because of the size variety. We were doing some project business, because I could liaise with my oil and gas team. We were stocking for them. Then we started rebar processing unit from our Ukrainian mill, because they generate rebars in a varying length of 9 to 12 meters. So it is not a standard product to sell. So we put it into India. We put some cutting bending machines. We started supplying fabricated parts on the site. So because it's a huge margin business, so that we started there. And so we were given the free hand that whichever product we can sustain on a profitable basis, I can add to my portfolio, propose it to my management, and go ahead with them. So I was in charge of the whole marketing team, and the logistic team was also reporting to me. So all sales, collection, customers are with me.
You have been there for 4 years?
Almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years. So after these 4 years, the business has developed a lot.
Yes.
Okay. And then why you decided to move from India, the distribution business, to Shanghai for the trading business?
Yes. The main reason was that China is an important player in the whole global steel trade. So we needed somebody who could go and understand the Chinese businesses, how the mills think, what is their cost levels, how they think about business, how they approach it. Because Chinese share in the global business was growing. When I came, I think they were at around 60 million tons of exports, and then jumped to 98, then 112, 110 levels. So this intelligence has very big value for us in the global business. If we can read the Chinese market well and the Black Sea market well, then we cover a lot of intelligence on the market. So that was the first strategic reason to bring somebody senior who can understand the market and place in Shanghai. Because if you see purely from the business volume part, China is a small business. Compared to India also, my responsibilities were larger. So when I came here, so my first task is go to the mills, understand the footprint in China, what are they doing, what are their cost levels, which can be a break-even point for them, how they generate about the trade, so the information and the contacts in China. Then of course it was already indicated that if I perform well, they will enlarge my scope. Otherwise, I was already doing a bigger business in India. So Singapore office was merged. That way. So currently we have two basic contexts for our presence into this part. One is what is happening on this part of the industry, because it impacts our planning on the Black Sea and for the American side also, what is coming. The second one is Southeast Asia acts as a big opportunity volume for our mills. Whenever they are having a hard time to sell in their main markets, core markets, we have to chip in. So Brazil, sometimes he will come that I have 30,000 for you, 2 days go and sell. So that is another strategic perspective for us. Secondly, also to strengthen our team here, because historically it was continuing to do some part of business. It was done in a repetitive business. So we were not seeing the growth part, and of course business was getting challenged. There is a cost cutting to bring efficiency in the system. So that's how it was done stepwise. I spent 1 to 2 years in China, then they enlarged my scope depending on the performance, and that's how it has been going like this. So now instead of 3 people in 3 offices, I have 1 office. We are doing much better volume now. Still a lot of work to do, because we have to revive all our customer contacts, because the trade balance is changing now again. So as I said, we are opening billets from Mexico, from this, that. So this is a continuous process for us. And maturity of a person matters a lot, because if I don't take the right decision, we can easily lose a few $100,000 or even $1 million. All these big deals of 30 to 50,000 tons, they are done on a margin of $1, $2, and every second dollar adds up into profit loss or gain.
So the margin is very low.
On commodity, you have to be very, very observant on the market. Whether I sell today or tomorrow, it can be a difference of few $100,000. So management has to rely on few key people. So Black Sea, like Turkey is the main market for us. Southeast Asia is the main market. Then we have a very senior person in Brazil. They do the Latin American market for us. So these 3 markets we cover very well. Our USA organization is an independent organization, but USA is mainly an importer. So basically, in our intelligence, what is happening on the raw material is very important, which is basically scrap, iron ore and coal. And that's then what is happening in the finished steel market or semis, which comes from mainly the Turkish players, Turkish producers. So they decide a lot of pricing in Black Sea, China in the Southeast Asian market, and Brazilian mills in the Latin American market. So these 3 offices are connected at all point of time. So before I take any decision, I do have to give them a call. That I'm going ahead, this is my pricing, or if I see something happening on the Chinese market, a news flashing, then I immediately give it to my counterparts. You can adjust your pricing, or the market is going down, you finish your orders. Then we have a weekly call with our London office, which is a global call, and China has to be there always, because they need inputs from China to decide on their strategy, how they are going to play. There is a participation in our CMO council, so all the big CMOs come and they ask our input, what is happening on the Southeast Asian side, so they can adjust their pricing that way. Intelligence is big time for us. It plays a very crucial role for us actually.
So for yourself, I think you have 2 roles to play. One is the sales, another is for the management. So what's the percentage that you used on sales for yourself or on the management?
Right now, all the big deals I handle myself, especially the customers which are new, which we are adding. For example, Philippines, currently I am handling all the customers directly, because these are the first deals which are coming through. Vietnam, till 6 months ago, I was handling all the deals now. Now I have given it to my regional product manager in Singapore and the local office. So they can do the work, but they will not conclude any business without speaking to me, because I am responsible to reply to my mail, what price I sold, why I sold, which quantity. So responsibility for all the tonnages remains with me. The repetitive business it is a mature business which my salespeople can discuss with the mill. The smaller tonnages, because we do a lot of these value-added grades. This they are in a direct contact with the export managers of the mill. Whenever there is a critical decision, they will come back and ask. So the business area manager is the main position in the whole business. So maybe Philippines we do 5-6 deals, then I will introduce my regional manager to them. That on a daily business, whenever you have to do a business, he is the person for logistics, information, he is the person. But whenever we discuss the business with the senior management, it will be me only. So that's why I have to travel at least 2 to 3 weeks to meet all the clients, to keep them in contact and gather market information also. So right now I would say that I control in terms of volume, because these are big businesses. Volume control will be 80% with me, and the management of logistics and finance, everything is very well balanced with us. So we have senior people who can take charge of that business. I only keep an eye on the shipments are happening on time, the LCs are in place, we are meeting our working capital requirements towards the quarter end. There are no overdues, for which I do a weekly follow-up with them. Whenever there is an issue, it comes back. In terms of people, we have 2 layers only of reporting. So all the sales people report directly to me. All the back office people, they report to the senior sales people, because it's their daily routine job.
And they don't report to you, they report to
only
this.
for escalation purpose. If they see some LC is not coming, or some salesperson's LC is reaching a critical, amendment is not there, or there is an open credit going, then they will just escalate it to me, because we already have a senior person in Singapore who manages the trade. So he puts a report that if this is not being done, please handle it that way. So this is one. So out of 25 people, about 16 people will be reporting directly to me. 8 people are subordinates of others. Like the Vietnam person, I will not talk to him on a daily basis. But yes, when I know that there is allocation from the mill, so I will take my regional salesperson and this person in call. That this is our strategy. This is my guidance to you. Please go and get me the feedback. Once they have the feedback, if it is okay, we finalize by the mill, and then the rest process they can do. The size mix or payment collection or LC, then it's their job. Once this is done, they will come and say, okay, it's done, it's closed.
So for your sales, it's more like that the mills will give you information that the allocation for one certain product, how much allocation they have, and then you give this information to your sales manager, and then they talk to customers to see if they are interested, and if they are interested, what's the price that they can accept,
Yes.
and then they give the feedback to you, and then you discuss with me.
Both ways. This is one way of working, but normally we work the other way.
Yeah.
The salesperson are always in the field.
Yes.
They will keep collecting the inquiries. So from the set of inquiries, if I see, because I am connected to mill almost on a daily basis, and I know who is looking for what and what price level. So if I get 10 inquiries, I will see that okay, these 3 inquiries seems good for my mills, and then I will connect immediately to the mill. Sometimes when the mill says I have another 30,000 ton on the block, my deal did not go through in other market, you take it, and then we go in the market. But normally we keep collecting inquiries, whether there is allocation or not, so that's my main job. I keep collecting inquiries on a daily basis, keep feeding it to the mill, that this is my price level, this is the quantity I have. If you have allocations, we are ready to do business. Yeah. And sometimes they come because, for example, European mills are not regular. They will come like 5 times in a year. So they say, okay, now today, okay, your price is good, I give you 20,000 tons, you go ahead and sell. Brazil, regular in the market, every month they sell. So we are on a daily basis. We keep generating inquiries and keep feeding them the information. And we give 2 times a week. We generate a formal report to all our mills.
2 times a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Monday and Thursday, just to update on them on what are the deals going on from competitors, what are the price benchmarks. We have set price benchmarks for each market and product. Mills are interested in that, so we do that. The regional managers will send that report every Monday and Thursday. I will do the call with my mills on Monday and Friday.
And then the mill will decide that how they are going to place their allocation with the different market and different offices.
Yeah, because the CMO of the mill has understanding which market, which volume. First of all, he will know from the mill side how much production he has and how much export volume he has on the market. Now within that, he will try to maximize his price and the terms and conditions also, the delivery terms and conditions. So depending on that, they will allocate it to different markets. For example, today Brazil is allocating us volumes. Kazakhstan mill is not allocating us volume. So we are good. 2 weeks back they came back. So it is a major decision is with the mill CMO what to allocate.
And for your own team that you have, I'm talking about the team that the nationalities, they are from different countries, right?
Yeah, all are okay. The China staff is all because they handle the local business.
Okay.
So they are all from China. One person is from Singapore.
Yes. The local business means
means they sell to customers in China.
they sell from
Our
Bali, from
No,
no.
our
Okay, understand.
our European, American,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Kazakhstan mills to the Chinese customers.
customers.
And I think because of the language and the business handling, they are all Chinese. Most of them are 10 years plus with us. So they are all Chinese. One is Singaporean here for the last 8 years. She is handling our sales here. In Singapore, it is all mixed: Malay, Indonesian, Indian, and Singaporean. The back office staff is all local Singaporean. It's a desk job for us. Sales managers, all different nationalities. I am Indian. My another flat product manager is also Indian. Long products is Singaporean. Technical guy is Malaysian. And in India, yes, all are Indians because it's only 4 people. But the senior guy has worked in Luxembourg, in our mill, Ostrava. So he has been moving for the last 10 years. So it's depending on the market. So now there will be another person from Turkey. She will be joining us towards the end of the month in Singapore office because she knows the Black Sea market. Very good contacts on scrap and billets, and we see more possibilities for doing billet and rebar here plus slabs. So we are bringing her to Singapore office to add some strength to our commodity business.
You have a lot of international experience because you spend a lot of time outside of India, and you are taking the leading role of your team. And how do you feel that in working with your Chinese employees? How do you feel that working with your Chinese team members?
Okay, I was a bit surprised when I came here because I found the relationship of business is more open here than I thought actually. The discussions are very friendly, not always in a very formal or structured way because that's what I imagine. That the Chinese mills work on a very structured hierarchical way. The officer, manager, GM, like that. But when I see with my office, they work between them very well. They work for each other. Somebody is going on holiday, he will easily take over his role and fill in for that. When I meet with customers, very informal, open discussions, ready to understand our constraints because they know we are coming from far off. We will have some constraint, we have a specific payment terms, we need all the amendments to go through. To me, it's been a very positive experience so far. No hassles at all because I have problem on the language. Because when I discuss business with the Chinese customers, most of them, at least the older generation is not conversant with English. So I have to use my salesperson. So I have never faced a problem. Whether I'm working in Xinjiang or Qingdao, no problem at all.
Okay.
because we have a big volume in Xinjiang, in Urumqi.
Oh.
Yeah, because
Okay.
our Kazakhstan mill is
It's
very
close.
near. It's a natural
Okay.
market for them.
Yeah.
So I go there once in a quarter. We
Okay.
sell good volumes of hot rolled and cold rolls there, and our secondary stock lots also go there. But never a problem. Traveling food, never a problem. Southeast Asian, I find them quite structured in terms of their business dealing. No adverse experience, whether the market goes up, down, whatever, everything comes in place. Very open discussion. But there is difference between one market to another. Singaporeans, whatever they say, even on call, absolutely done business. Turkish, the same way. They confirm on phone, the business is sealed. Philippines, couple of customers, very reliable, very senior people. I can discuss business on phone, WhatsApp, and it's always performed.
Okay.
Some markets, Myanmar, sometimes we are not sure unless I get an LC copy. Indian market, unless you have the LC, you are not sure of the business. So very different context. But on the Chinese side, never a problem. We're quite open, acceptable to suggestions. That way it has been doing very well.
And in your team, that most of, as you mentioned, that I think most of your members, they are experienced people, right? So when you develop a new business, you can transfer the business to other experienced members in your team and without a problem. Do you also have experience that I'm thinking that for newcomers that just into the industry, and you develop, you help him to develop his experience. Do you have this type of experience?
Yes, here in Shanghai office, we recruited last year one new guy for our technical sales for jumbo beams. Because we have only the one person had left when I came, and we have only another person who is based out of Beijing, quite senior guy, 30 years with us. So this person was totally new with us, has no experience on the commercial side, but I had to handhold him for some time because he is good in technical. He knows how to propose to a customer a structural solution, but he has to go along with the commercial part also. So we have to help him to grow in that role. So he could do very well. The Bangladesh order was done by him. I have to hold him that this should be a condition on the shipping side, it should be a condition on the LC side, and you have to negotiate. You have to give this, give that, how your pricing should be. They are absolutely new on pricing, and I was not involving anybody else. So I gave him the exposure, but I have to keep him in front with the customer. Okay, he is being guided. In the critical meetings, I will go, but then he should lead it. So once he completes one or two big businesses, he will be conversant with this and he can start going on his own. So over a 2 years period, he has grown up well. In fact, then he proposed me that he wants to go for his MBA. So
sorry?
for his MBA.
MBA.
So no matter, I have allowed him to go. So he is considering to do a part-time. So I give him a recommendation also, please go ahead. Because if they develop in their career, probably the organization will also develop. We introduce a lot of training programs with us. So I have not seen that the senior people and the young guys, they are not gelling well. I think they are gelling well. That's I feel that, at least in our office, I have never seen that people hierarchy is not there, because we are very lean organization. Everybody has to do everybody's job. If somebody is going on a holiday, the other one will come in. I don't have the luxury to hire another person, and most of them are trained on multi-products. So for a brief period, everybody can handle flat, long, both. Only highly technical systems, then they have to ask some seniors. But very easy for them to transfer. Also, I did some amount of reduction in our manpower. When I came, there were almost like 10 people with a smaller business. So some business prospects which were not looking good. So I had to reduce my manpower. So that was also a challenging part, because I come new, but I remove people. So I had to explain to everybody that see, this is our business, this is how it is being done, this is my vision for the next 2 years, and it is an open discussion. If I am not talking to them, they start suspecting. So it's an open forum. All 10 of us will sit in the discussion. These are my priorities. This is what the organization sees. This I see problem in the Chinese market. I cannot compete simply here, and I cannot keep a person. So we have to ensure that all of our person are fully loaded. They are full with work, because that's when they are productive, and we keep investing in the good people. So they are being sent for trainings in our mills, in our management. We have a university program where they are nominated. So a lot of work is done on people, because for our organization, people is the main asset. If I don't have the right people, there's nothing else. I don't run a plant. It's only my 25 people. If they work well, I'm good.
So at that time that you have your idea about what the business will be in 1 or 2 years, but the present is situation is different from your idea. So you talk to your team members about your future picture and the present, and ask them that they have to make some changes.
Yes.
And because they are experienced people, do you think do you have difficulties that pushing them to accept the changes?
No, so far I have not seen any person in my China office or Singapore office, because I have seen that if you are talking openly, people can understand what is your intention. You are honest to them, you are transparent to them. Even if I am going to fire a person, I have to tell him that, see, this position is going to close 6 months in advance, plan something for you, I am giving you time, this is my exact reason. So even that person is comfortable that yes, there is some logic, rational in what this person is saying, in what he is believing. So they start believing you. And once you start delivering on those, the trust builds. So it takes the first 6 months for the team to come into your side. But yes, now I know this manager, what is he wanting. So sometimes they know even before what I am going to say on the call, that the business has to be done in that way. So I have not seen, rather I would say they have been very adaptive, because they also understand that the steel world is changing, the dynamics are changing, and they have to adopt or will be outpaced. So they have been very adaptive so far. I have never had a case who is very rigid. I had one case in Shanghai, very old guy, he was doing electrical steel, but we cannot do electrical steel for electrical cars in China.
Okay.
So that was a big tough discussion, but nothing. It lasted only a couple of days, and it was settled.
Okay. And he left or he joined the other team?
I think he started something on his own.
Okay.
But yes, that one way I would say was the hardest discussion, because the person was adamant that business plan will go through. But if I see the performance in the last 3 years, then I arrange a call with our mills. See, this is the electrical steel. It was a steel for electrical cars. So if you look at the prospect now, for the next 3 years I have nothing on the business. I will not sell even a single tonnage on this business. And okay, past the guy was selling stainless steel for us, and he was not the fit for the job also. So sometimes discussion, but we handled his case pretty well. He was paid all the compensation as per the law. I had to brought in my HR. So very open discussion, and I think he left on a very good note. We are still in touch. So that way, so far, 3 years have been pretty well. And as the market dynamics is changing a lot, I have to change my team to keep the same amount of skills. So whenever we see some changes are coming, we have to upgrade them. Please go forward.
On regular basis, how many hours you work every day?
So my days are a bit longer here, because the Asian business starts at around 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
But my Europe office opens at 4 o'clock, and Brazil opens around 7 o'clock in the night.
That's right.
So I decide a bit depending on what is going on. Like today morning, my first call was at 7 o'clock with Mexico. They are 13 hours behind. And I was closing something on the Philippines side. So I had to call him at 7 in the morning. That these are the final points. Please consider. You have a couple of hours before closing. Then go ahead with that. So normally I would work at least 10 hours plus. In between some on and off here and there. But a day will start at 9 and it will go till 10. Some businesses which are critical, I cannot stop them. If I am discussing a 30,000 ton deal, I cannot say that I am going to sleep, I will not do that. No. So last night I talked to them till 11, with their opening time, which was 9 o'clock. And then when I woke up, I saw his message, 7 o'clock. So days are very long. Like this, when I was in Istanbul, some of the markets were working on close on Friday, but some markets were open. The same markets were open on Sunday. So our Dubai office is working on Sunday. So the contracts which I do through Dubai, sometimes they get in touch on Sundays also on the critical points. Days are pretty long. If you have a business in hand, it goes on.
Okay, so because you have a very experienced team, so you can very much focus yourself on the sales side, on the trading side.
Yes, that has been a good part. That once the order is mature, I can give it to them, and then the smaller points they can handle with shipping, logistics, or finance, and they can close.
That's right. So for 1 year, how many trips? I mean, how many days you are on trips?
In the last 1 year, I would say I've been in Shanghai for maximum 3 months.
3 months. So you spend
A lot of time outside. I travel minimum 2 to 3 weeks out of Shanghai.
Sorry,
Minimum 2 to 3 weeks outside Shanghai, basically.
2 to 3 weeks
Every month.
every month. 2 to 3 weeks outside of Shanghai.
Yeah, basically, currently what I do is I visit one market in a week, 1 or 2, depending on the business meetings. For example, Vietnam, so I will spend 3 days there, then go to my Singapore office. I can work there for 1 or 2 days, some business plus admin issues. Then I see if I have a meeting on Monday and Tuesday, then I stay over the weekend. Or I can go to India, because Indian retail business can work on Saturday also. So, because when I make a trip, it is normally 2 weeks long. I cannot come back all the time to Shanghai and go back. So normally that's the routine. That one trip will be within the week, one trip will be about 2 weeks long. So I have to spend 1 weekend, 2 weekends outside.
Are there any allowance for these trips?
No.
No.
Your hotel and trip is paid, that's it. No
Paying
allowance.
for
So your trips are mainly in China and also in Southeast Asia, India, this area, right?
Yeah, now it is. From September to March, I was traveling Egypt, Lebanon, Israel, Turkey.
Okay.
And once in a quarter, we go to Luxembourg. One is for, normally we club it with a business meeting and a mill visit. That's part of our own development plan. So I can choose to go to a long product mill or a flat product mill. So that is one. Next one will be like Brazil. We are doing a lot of business with Brazil, but I have to go and spend time on the shop floor. So normally we are given about 2 to 3 days of training on the shop floor to understand the production process, and so that we can at least answer some technical questions to the customer. And we develop a relationship with the logistics team, the CMO, the main key people there. So I connect to everybody then. So this is normal plan for us.
Understand. So right now you have your family here in Shanghai, and you enjoying your life here?
Very much.
Yes. Okay.
Very much.
So-
All of us are liking Shanghai quite a lot.
Good.
Again, it has been a surprising experience because when we were in India, the impression of China is different. We know China has been growing well ahead of India and all, but Shanghai has been a very easy city to settle. Facilities are pretty good. I see government is doing a lot of good steps for the citizens here. I don't feel that it is a 25 million people city. No big traffic issues or those kind of things, because Mumbai also was almost 20 million people, but it's a different place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a tough place to live.
So if you work with us and stay in Shanghai, you think it would be good, right?
No problem. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any expectations for the next job?
Yeah, I had some couple of questions mainly. Because I have some limited information on Cumic. I understand the volume you are handling is about 1.2 to 1.6 million tons at this moment. 1.2 million, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I gathered. Yeah. So, question is because my current portfolio is already at 1 million ton, but I told to Leon also that I like to work in businesses which are growing, which are developing.
Yeah.
So something I want to understand, what is the plan, the strategy, the long-term vision of Cumic, and because I deal with some of the Chinese trading companies, ZMI and Hangzhou CIEC are our regular customers.
Yeah.
They take some volumes for us, and since 2015 I have seen their growth also. When I came, I think Hangzhou was at around 3 million tons level that time. Now they are claiming around 6 million tons and a good volume in domestic market also. So something which I want to understand how the company wants to grow in terms of business, and secondly the team, how will it collaborate between themselves, what this role will be. If you can tell me some more, because Leon, when I asked him, he could not say more than a few things.
We are a developing company, and and since this year, we restrict our strategy. Yeah, we try to be one of the global trading company in the world, and we restrict our organization. As you know, we are set a new department for Southeast Department, and we are looking for the new candidates. And
I can add something that for Cumic we don't have a long history, just 11 years. We are founded in year 2006, and that year our founding members, they are 5 Chinese steel professionals. They left the biggest service center at that time here in Shanghai to set up Cumic. Because as you know, that year 2006, year 2005, that's the year that China turned itself from net steel import country to a net steel export country. And this team, that they used to be the international business team in the local service center. And they every year they buy a lot of steel from overseas mills through all the traders like Stancore, Salzgitter, yes, Duferco, all those, Max Steel, all those traders. But gradually, that the Chinese mills, that they improve the quality, and also they have more quantity to sell. So they are approaching them to say that you have the international business experience, could you also help us to sell? So that's why they decided to set up Cumic to take advantage of this change of the trend. After they set up Cumic, for all the 11 years, we have very good growth on the business. We from the first year, it's just like 100,000 tons to Middle East market, and to last year close to 1.2 million tons. And for Cumic, right now, most of our purchasing business is from Chinese mills. More than 95% of our total quantities are from Chinese mills, because we are still very much Chinese traders. Because most of our colleagues, they are Chinese, except right now just 3 colleagues, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 colleagues, 2 in Dubai office. They are not Chinese, and 1 in Houston office is American. So for we enjoy very much the growth of CUMIC, but for our next 10 years, our idea is we are trying to make CUMIC not only a Chinese steel trader to export Chinese steel to our customers overseas, because we are not involved in any. Right now, we have a small part of entire domestic steel trading business, but more than 90% of our business is for the export business.
Okay.
We are trying to get ourselves more involved into the steel trading business, and not only to export from China to our customers overseas. And also we are trying to have more Thailands, not Chinese, foreign Thailands to work with us.
Mm-hmm.
That's also the idea of our chairman, to be open to people, to Thailands, and who share the same idea of business philosophy with us, to work with us. Yes. And for our business, that we are not active on very commercial products like billet. We had some business of billet, but we found suppliers here. Some of them, when the price goes up, they are not.
They don't realize.
Yeah, they try to renegotiate. If they don't get the increase of the price, they are not very. They will just not deliver.
Yeah, I understand.
But for CUMIC, that our business idea is that if we sign the contract with the customer, we must deliver, we must performance.
Okay.
Because we cannot work as some small traders.
Okay.
So we had considerable losses because of the non-performance of our suppliers.
Okay.
So, but the good thing that it's just a small part of our business. Most of our part of business is we are trying to go to the higher grades of steel,
Okay.
high value added steel products to our customers.
Yes.
Because we feel that's more the business is more stable. It's not very much influenced by the ups and downs of the
On a daily
prices.
basis, yes.
Yes. So we are trying to have the sustainable group, not to take advantage of the fluctuation of the market. Yeah, that's more, but our business idea. But we know that in the steel business, you cannot really get out of that.
Yeah, that will remain.
Yeah, you have to remain to be part of it.
It has
But-
become more and more dynamic nowadays.
Yes, but we also for our business daily for our business, like last year we exported 1.2 million tons, and that a very big part of it is for the business that the customer they buy, that no matter the price goes up or goes down, they buy.
Something like more of the Japanese and Korean relationship.
Yes,
You
we-
build your relationship in a good or bad time. You
That's
are
right.
always together.
Yeah. So that's right. we are trying to build the relationship with the customer is as very close partners, not just we sharpen our pencil when we offer, and then they buy just because they can get $1 better from Cubic than
Correct.
others. Of course we need to have a very competitive offer for our customer, but also that we are trying to build a very strong relationship with our customers. Yes, that's the way that we work.
And now another related question is that now the Chinese market is doing pretty well, the domestic market. There is some reduction in the capacities.
That's
So
true.
in my view, the Chinese dynamics will change going forward, and it will change the dynamics in the Asian and global market. So at this point, for the value-added grades products, are you considering to buy from other regional mills also, or you will focus only on buying only in China? And
We are open to the supply of high-end products like automotive steel from overseas mills. We are open to it, but what we also have our worries is that recently we had some purchase from Indian mills, but we feel the supply, the service of Indian mills is I think that is not that responsive, timely responsive like what we can have here with Chinese mills.
yes,
So sometimes customer ask us a question, and it takes quite a long time to get response
Yes.
from mills. We understand it, and that's something that we need to resolve.
then you will have to build. We had this problem in India when I started buying from them. Depending on the market movement, your order delivery can be as late as 1 month, or sometime it will be short delivery and everything is closed. But yes, when we started working with them for a longer time, in a down market, in up market, building a relationship with their sales manager, their
Yeah.
logistics team, then it was rectified to quite a
That's
level.
right.
It takes a lot of time, and Indian mills, as I earlier mentioned, contractual obligation is not 100%. Even if you have a contract, you can have problems. But some other markets, nothing like. For example, Brazil, contract is 99% perform anytime,
That's right.
or better than the contract. They normally perform better than the contract in terms of. So very different market, different behavior.
We understand it's a trading problem is always people problem. So we need to have the right person that to discuss, to develop our business there in India. Right now it's more for because there is the anti-dumping, so more it's the relationship with mills there to supply to us, and then we supply to our customers in other regions like in Europe, because of the anti-dumping, that many products that we cannot supply. Yes, so we need to develop that.
That is coming now. People, as I said, now okay, I can talk commodities easily. Like Vietnamese mills are coming into billet supplies. Formosa will be producing hot rolled coil in Vietnam. Probably you will see them in the export market very soon. When I was in Taiwan, Taiwanese mills, they have their network, but they were still indicating that their domestic price is worse than the export price. So they were looking for some contacts to take some volumes. And as I see their product listing, they were pretty good, right from hot roll to higher grades. And I visited couple of lines also with them. Product seems very good actually. That way. So there is a lot of opportunity coming based on the market. So that's why I say, even if I'm not doing business, I will meet the customer for sure. And so I don't know whether business will happen today or tomorrow, but the contact is very important.
That's right.
So far they have been very good in response.
So to us that we feel that there is a lot of opportunities outside. We need to develop our business and enlarge our business by finding the right person, the correct attitude to work together. Yes, we think that's the most important part.
And it takes because earlier when I saw that in 10 years we have come to 1.2 million tons. For a pure trading company, it is a smaller volume, but as you said now, that it is more on the higher value added or a more sustained business, then it makes definite sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise, okay, tonnage on everything you can easily do millions of tons,
That's
not a
right.
problem.
That's right.
And some of the companies have been doing. Sometimes when I talk to Hangzhou, ZMI, they are showing me a yearly growth of 30% plus and all that. But they are all on commodities basically.
That's right. For us, that we are looking for more on the business that can have a sustainable development. That we know that we sometimes there is opportunity, we need to take that opportunity, but we don't want to take too much risk. That we more. So that's why that for Qimi, that when the market is very good, we are good, but not as good as some other companies which is bolder. But when the market is not good, we are also not.
Yeah, your variation
Our business is still
your
good.
variation is in a narrow zone that way because you are more steady. And most of the businesses you do is on a back-to-back business, or you also build positions.
And most of our business is back-to-back business.
So that explains it. Yes, that you are more steady. Because others sometimes, most of the traders, at least in today's market, they are playing on positions.
Yeah.
They take position and try to sell later. So as long as the market is on the upside, everybody is happy. One bad day, then everybody will make
That's right.
200,000 loss. So our business also is 100% back to back. Sometimes we give it to trade if he is willing to take position, or I have an empty volume that I could not, in a vessel I could not put 5,000 tons. So for that I will contract that. Okay, this is my price, but it will be exactly the same price to my end customer. So one vessel, one price. If he can make money on that, it is his ability to make money.
Yes.
Otherwise, we don't encourage trade. Our trade business participation is less than 10%. That's why all end users, and now with the way they have developed, they have good financing capacity. They can work on LCs. Banking is pretty good. We have developed our banking lines with our banks, discount LCs. We have used credit insurance. So now 90% of our business is all direct business. So I don't need to rely on trade.
It's good.
So that in case works well.
For Qimi is also that in the past 10 years, we gradually we develop our capability to provide good service to customers. Because when we just set up, we just work with one bank, and only one bank work with us. And for many, this bank is a Chinese bank, so for many LCs from many banks, overseas banks, they don't accept.
They don't accept.
So we can only work with customers that this bank can accept the LC that is the issue. So very limited. Gradually, that more banks that they come to work with us. So we can accept LCs from more different banks. And then right now that the insurance company comes, so now we can also provide OE payments to our customers. And right now we for Qimi we have about talking about all the numbers, I think it's like 30% of our orders are concluded with OA payment.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes, but talking about the total volume, it's much less. It's much less.
No, we have the same practice in China. In China, our business is 100% on LCs or part advance and everything paid before the shipment.
Oh, that's a TT payment.
Yeah, because these customers have been either they are our global customers, so they are present in Europe and China both for manufacturing, or we have a credit insurance for them. But we keep adding like this. This is our regular business that the customers who have been performing well, if we can improve on the payment terms, bring in a credit insurer. For smaller orders, we try to go on TT payment to save cost of LC for both and the paperwork. This is also part of our job. How to, like in Vietnam, only a few banks will be able to discount. They will not have so many lines to discount their LC. So I have to ask my finance guy to open up more banks for me, arrange the lines for us to negotiate, because working capital is very important for us. And because we are the trading arm of the business, we provide a cushion to the mill. So our payment to mill is agreed always. So I have to perform on that. And within that period, I have to perform my working capital also. So we normally have been doing pretty well on our working capital performance because so our criteria basically is the volume, the margin, then the working capital performance, and overdues quickly. So these are main 4 criteria when we are measured, and then of course how many customers, new businesses, those are also added up. For management, this is the criteria.
And you have a lot of the experience in the steel business, and that how do you see yourself that because now you are planning to leave ArcelorMittal, that how do you see yourself that in for example in 5 or in 10 years?
Yeah, 5-10 years, because I really like there are 3 things in the career which I like now. Is the variety, the new opportunities or challenges which keep coming. That's been a good part of ArcelorMittal so far. Our exposure has been so good, right from European to Indian and to Southeast Asia. So that is the major part, and this job involves a lot of traveling, which I like. And sales, I like it very well because I like to interact with people. So sales is all about how you interact with people, how do you build your relations. So not only customers, I mean your team also and your counterparts also. So that is a challenging part. So if I am given an independent view on my career, maybe 5 to 10 years you might see me as an independent company running a trade, because as I grow my experience, I get more confident that I can make good decisions. The calls which I have been taking for my company have been proving very beneficial. Most of them, of course, I cannot be 100% right, but as I grow, so if I spend another 3 to 5 years into this business, I think I can really drive a business by myself, or play a larger role at a senior management level, where we drive the business. And so 2 steps above this level, where you can say that I am in charge of this business. I will be only holding a good few 100 million ton portfolio and then earn money as a businessman. And that's been a very good part of our management and distribution solution also, that we are given as a profit center and we are allowed to make decision to run it as a profit center, because I am not reporting on a daily basis. I am able to make decisions. So that's being one. So 3 to 5 years, I would say, growing into a senior role. 5 to 10 years, probably running my own company sometime. That's the aim. Because ultimately, either you grow from an employer to a partner level, or you grow towards owning a business. If you are growing as a partner in the company's growth, then of course, yes, you become part of the company. If you remain as an employee, maybe after 5 years, I will think that probably I can start my own business like Cumic has done. Once you gain enough experience, try to be on your own.
You mean in Shanghai or in India?
No, the world is open. I don't think so much actually. We are quite a global population, so everything has to be based on the decision for business. Business sense, of course, family's life matters. That's why I explained Istanbul. They were not very happy to go. We also did not find the schools to be so good. But then company is very constrained then. They give you an open choice, they give you good exposure, and then allow us to make choices.
So, if you have very good development in one company, and you can become a partner of this company, you think it's then you can also accept it. You don't say that. I think you don't insist that you need to be the chairman of the company.
No. If you see my profile, I'll go a bit behind also. I started as an engineer basically, but after 2 years I learned that I like sales more. So within the same company I shifted into sales, and I gave up my educational background, I gave up my 2 years of engineer experience. So I started afresh as a salesperson, and then I have grown like that within that company. And normally my belief is that I don't like to serve for every different company every 3 years. So I work basically with only 2 companies. Reliance Industries is the largest company, private sector company in India, with a variety of interest, right from petrochemical to oil and gas to clothes manufacturing and all. So in my career I would serve maybe 4 companies, and that's it. So any tenure between 7 years to 10 years is what I do. But within the same profile, you have seen that I have been taking different roles, which were always in the startup of the business. Like India was a startup. China, I would say, is a startup because we started the business in a different steam dynamic world. We have to adapt to it. The work I did in Reliance, that was the first project. That was a greenfield project to roll out retail of petrochemical products. So I like doing it. So I never mind starting with a smaller company who is on a growth track, because that's where the fun is. If I am going to do a steady business, which my previous guy has done, so no, I'm not at that level. Maybe when I am 60, or maybe not right now. I have still time to go.
Good. Any more questions?
No, it's fine for the main. Maybe one last question.
Yeah.
In terms of, because you mentioned you are looking for a Southeast Asia regional manager.
Yeah.
Now, it will be multi-product, or it will be focusing on some few products in this area. The person will sell all possible products, or we have to focus on a few product lines in the beginning, or
他说，就是我们
聚焦在某个市场，还是
聚焦在某几样产品呢，还是说所有的产品？
所有产品？
对，all products
and the certain.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And you even can develop some new business that you have never done before.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once you are given, see, because recently I'm traveling to a lot of these markets which are new for me also. But I see a lot of opportunity. When you speak to customers, maybe he's looking for only 100 tons, but for 100 tons you can make good $30 on that. And nobody else is willing to do that business. We do that business. For example, beams, we supply as small as 1 container.
Okay.
But I take a good $150 margin on that.
Why not?
Why not? Because it covers my cost, it covers my effort. That's fine.
That's
so
right.
We balance both ways. So it is fine. It gives flexibility also.
For Cumic, because we are 100% private company, so we very much share the same idea that we don't just looking for quantities.
Yes.
And we are more interested in the rewards, the margins instead of just the quantities.
Yeah, because all the trade companies I speak, Duferco, Maxsteel, ZMI, Hangzhou, they talk about few 100,000 tons billet, hot roll, cold roll. But when I tell them, do this business I'm not going to do. For example, a lot of time I have problem that I cannot do this 200 ton business. My price is not matching. So I gave it to my Hangzhou guy that go and do this business. There is $100 margin, 200 ton. He doesn't do it. He says, no, I am doing only billets. I want 30,000 tons. I don't want to do it.
Okay. And that's
So many times we have done this. And there is a lot of money in that business.
That's right.
Lot of money.
I think that's a difference that for QMIK that we very much focus on the service to our customers, that what they need, that even what they need is not in our portfolio, that we are looking for that products, looking for credible suppliers for our customers in China, and tell them what we can supply to them. That's the way we grew up our business. Even some products, the quantity is not big, but we got good margin, and it's they buy that regularly once every month or maybe once every quarter, but we keep doing that. Yeah.
Very good news. Like
So-
I was discussing in Sri Lanka, the customer is asking me to supply few hundred tons of wire rod, 1010 and above, but he wants only 800 tons, 1100 tons. Nobody is ready to do business here. I don't have allocation from my mill because it will come from Kribari, but he is ready to pay me a price which is $30 net margin to the Chinese current price. And so today I want to, and he is asking me, can you search me a Chinese supplier to do this? Sometime I pass on, but they don't take business.
That's the business that we like.
Yeah. So I think if it is my own company, I take this 1,000 tons and take $30 margin. That's right.
That's right. Because for state-owned companies, they place more on the quantity,
Yes.
on the sales volume,
Yes.
that instead of on the margin, because they need more the volume to make their financial statement looks good.
In 2015, I had seen this in a very shocking way actually. I was going around in all the mills, and every month the price was dropping from January 2015 to end of 2015. The price was almost 30% down. Their volume still growing. I said, why? Because he says, this is my quota from my boss, from my government. I have to meet this budget. If I don't do this budget, next year they will reduce my allocation, my working capital.
Okay.
So he was ready to pay $10 from his pocket to take the volume. Fair enough. Because in ArcelorMittal we never do that business. If it's not profitable, we don't touch it.
That's right.
But this only I saw in China actually. No, never ever.
Okay.
That's it.
It's good. Yeah, and it's also that QMIK that we know that also other trading companies, Chinese trading companies, they know that QMIK is different.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different.
But
I think that we have because we have one colleague that also used to work in ArcelorMittal. He's now the head of our Dubai office.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
so I think that probably he will have a talk with you, and
Yeah.
also our Jeremy, our general manager, has extended experience with Indian the steel business. So I
Okay.
think he will also have a talk with you.
Yeah, we will arrange another interview.
You can let me know.
Okay.
Just that I will be traveling now for the next week.
Next 2 weeks.
No, next week I will be in Singapore, so I should be back here on 27th and 28th.
Okay, Jerry is on his business trip till middle of the August.
Middle of August.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me know, or
Okay,
how
okay.
do you want to plan it?
Okay.
But next week I will be available on
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday. Otherwise we will be here. No problem.
Okay.
We can find some dates.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I work on weekends also, so no problem.
And thanks again for your time. You may give feedback to Leo.
Yeah, I will call him on my way back.
Okay. And that's all for today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your time as well.
Thank you. Very nice meeting you.
Same here. It's always good to have discussion. That's why I said in China it has always been good discussions, very informal, open discussions. That's what we like.
Okay. 我待会儿找你聊一下啊。
好，
谢谢。好的，我先送他一下。
好。Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Same here. Very nice meeting, and we will be in touch.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll find
Do you need to call the taxi for you?
No, I have my car waiting for me.
Oh, okay.
So I'll call the driver. No problem.
Oh. Okay,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Bye bye. 非常感谢今天有你在，不然的话我跟他聊，我觉得我只能听懂个40%、50%差不多。而且有些专业的东西我不一定聊得出来。你觉得咋样？
我感觉挺好的，我觉得他和我们的想法都很一致的。
没意思啊。
就是不是想做量，而是想做利润那种。而且我感觉，就是他不是那种，因为我一开始看他的这个，看他安森龙集团里面这个工作啊，就是一直在公司里面工作，我就担心是那种就是人浮于事的那种。只是说，反正我就是这个职位或者这个收入，然后内部搞好，然后就好了。我感觉他好像从我跟他聊的话，如果他告诉我的情况都是真实的，那我觉得他应该是蛮专注于工作的，蛮务实的这种。这的话就是属于我觉得应该属于我们感兴趣的。对。
然后他在，因为我当时在听的时候，他说，他主要负责的工作是跟工厂，这家公司不是有自己的各地的工厂嘛？他说跟工厂联系，对吧？但是他自己具体开发市场，他也提到一些，但是我不知道到底怎么样。
他这样，他们这个团队是这样，他这个团队呢，就是说他是在这个他是负责整个亚洲地区的这个trading，他是负责整个亚洲地区的trading的，所以说工厂的资源，而且他们呢就是说只卖他们自己工厂的资源，
对，
就说不卖其他工厂的资源。
这个我打听了。
那这样的话，就是工厂的资源是掌握在他手上的，就是说，因为他是负责人嘛，所以说工厂把所有的这些就是的量还有价格，然后这些发给他，然后他再把这些资源呢，就是它是一个双向的，这是一种方式，他再把这些资源呢，再给他的销售经理，让他们去客户谈，这个量、这个产品、这个价格怎么样，然后能不能够就是卖出去。但更多的一种方式呢，就是这是一种，就是说从工厂到销售；还有一种方式呢，就是从销售到工厂。那么这销售跟当地客户谈的，就是说我感兴趣，我要买什么量，然后什么产品、什么价格，然后他的销售再到他手上，然后他再传递给工厂，然后由工厂来决定这个可不可以卖。是这样的，因为它这个是还是属于工厂的这个。
就是我的想法是，就是他那个手底下不是有那些 senior sales 的吗？
对。
那他们对接的是客户，那他自己本人
他也对接客户。
也有对接哈。
他说了嘛，就是说他是，只是说像现在的话，他就是在开发菲律宾市场，那么他就直接跟客户谈的。
对。
直接跟客户谈，他就很直接嘛，就是说我手上有资源是怎么样的，那我可以给你什么？因为他是在里面，他是属于老板嘛，所以他手上资源实际上是更多的，然后这样就更容易能够把这个区域开发起来，开发起来了之后呢，然后他再把这些客户再转给他的其他的下面的人，然后继续去跟，就后面这个业务就继续做下去，
对，
像他说的越南这边开发起来了之后，然后就转给这个有经验的这个销售，然后由他后面就继续跟嘛，然后他这边呢，但是呢就是说。因为他是老板，所以说下面的这些人都不直接跟工厂谈， 都是
对对对
先汇总到他这里，
嗯
然后他再去告诉工厂，所以它是起到一个非常重要的一个节点的作用。
他们这种模式也大概有一个了解，挺好的。
对，
好的。
所以我感觉他比较务实的，挺务实的，而且他也说他就是
而且我
看利润，不是看量。
对，而且我觉得他对那几个市场可能还是比较了解了。
了解，肯定了解的，因为他在这个你看他的工作经历的话，他之前是在总部培训嘛，然后总部培训的时候，大概11年，然后到印度，然后
在印度嘛，对，3年。
distribution，
对。
他基本上在那边工作3年的话，3年基本上这些客户人脉关系的话，基本上还是有的。
对。
然后他现在到这边来，然后这边来工作就更多的覆盖了东南亚这一块，说客户人脉关系也是有的。所以说如果他是就是如果我们了解所有的情况都是真实的哈，那我觉得他应该是这2块是区域，东南亚跟南亚这2块区域，他应该是
都可以
是了解的，应该是透彻的。而且他因为工作的时间，那边是将近4年，然后这边的话4年、3年多这样啊，这2块应该都是了解的挺清楚。而且我觉得他是比较务实的，自己去开发客户。他按照他说的，所以说问他，我说你工作时间是怎么样？他说从早到晚就是1天10个小时。我觉得这是对于一个想做事情的 trader 应该是至少
需要就很正常的。
对，非常正常的。对，如果他工作时间少于这个的话，那我觉得可能这个有点意外。对，但是他说的这种10个小时，我觉得对于一个想做事情的 trader 是要做工作的这样长时间。而且在 travel 的时间的话，他是1年的3/4时间都在 travel， 这也是应该是一个就是想做事情的 trader。
比较好的这种状态。
对，比较好的一种状态。然后应该是他家里面的话，还是有一个小孩嘛，因为家里面人就照顾小孩，应该没有出去工作，然后他基本上就是对，
小孩子
蛮好的，我觉得。
好的，我们这边再安排一下。然后就主要是杰瑞这边的话是18月份，他不是。
你看杰瑞中间回来的，他应该出差的中间回来，然后再这个再去新西兰之间。然后
可能在也是月底，到时候看看吧。
对，你跟 Jerry 再确认一下，你把这个情况给他汇报一下。
好的。
然后你说这个感觉这个candidate也不错的，然后看中间他有没有时间留建议。
好的。
他呢，应该是他是老板，他可以自己安排更多，他时间应该自己安排会有灵活性。
他比较担心去 Turkey 的话，打仗怎么办？太乱了。
是呀，那个谁都担心的。你看那个土耳其那个，太不安全了。
他现在应该是政局动荡吧？
政局也动荡，然后一会儿又是什么兵变啊，说这些事情。而且那边的话，那个不是 IS 经常在 Turkey 搞一点事情，什么广场爆炸呀这些。所以说他家里面人肯定就是小孩不想走。
上海，其实上海。挺好的，
是挺好的呀。所以说他不想。
同样，我但那个听懂了，他同样是2000多万人的话，上海比那个什么孟买要好多了。
因为这边就是说它发展的好嘛，
是蛮有秩序的
哈。然后你如果去国外的话，孟买我没有去过，我去那个秘鲁的那个利马，它是1000多万人，然后它城市它没有高的建筑，全是平的建筑，那个交通那个
就会比较拥挤哈。
所以说上海虽然人口多，说他说的你感觉不到2000多万人，2000多万人。
这样说，我刚好问他要不要帮他叫出租车，他说有自己的那个，他自己安排的车子好像是，然后那这样出行的话是很感觉不到那个。
说蛮好的。
好。蛮好的哈，谢谢。希望对你来讲今天也有点收获，真的是耽误你时间了2个小时。
他这个聊一聊，了解更多的情况，也挺好的。
好的，谢谢。
如果他们家里人，我觉得应该是不错的。
Good， 努力当中。
你们这个找到的这个工作很不错，你找到这样的人。
好。好，谢谢啊。
好，
我先下去了。